As you can see, we are in another location here, Civitavecchia. We did not film, we had a long day. I mentioned that a little bit later. We pretty much just walked around, checked into our hotel, ate this great dinner. First Italian food here in Civitavecchia. Wow. And as you probably heard, I sounded like I was sick because I was a little sick. Here's a great shot from our veranda, which we did not film our hotel room, but I recommend the Riviera Suites. Here's my Italian national citizen there, walking around Civitavecchia, shopping. Alright, we're here on the MSC World Europa in the World Promenade, which is kind of like this big open boardwalk area. It spans 12 decks, 11 decks, from deck 8 to 20, but there's missing one deck, because 17 is not on the ship because of superstition with European cultures. But we have an excursion today in Palermo, Sicily, right behind me here. Beautiful port of Palermo. We're excited to get off. It's a little nippy outside, but it's going to warm up to the 60s, so I am in shorts, ready to be comfortable. And we have not filmed a lot up until this point. This is kind of a gap because we've been exhausted. We had a big travel day. The airline lost our luggage. We walked countless miles and a few little mishaps, but we're here, we're excited, and we are on the MSC World Europa, MSC's largest ship to date. So join us in Palermo. Let's go. So we left the World Europa on our excursion in Palermo, which took us around the historic city and mainly to a few historic churches. We are on our way to the first, which is the Monreale Cathedral. It is very important to the people of Sicily. They started building it in 1172 and it was completed in 1267, and it's in the Norman Gothic Renaissance Baroque style. Right now we are walking towards it, but also going to this overlook to get a good view of the city down below as we are up on a ridge. Fast walk. It was really beautiful here in Palermo. It really gave the feeling of a Mediterranean. It was sunny in the high 60s at sometimes, you know, warm enough to not even have a jacket on. Perfect weather. So we are winding our way through the smaller streets. They get like really small, even like alleyways. And we see even more churches along the way. Places of note, which I cannot remember, but stunning architecture, ancient streets on our way to Monreale Cathedral. Now I am kind of doing a voiceover in this video as I did not talk much this day as I felt under the weather, and we had a very large group and I didn't want to talk in the churches, so I kind of talked here and there or whenever I could. And right now this is just us walking and looking at the amazing mosaics kind of in these old buildings. Just stunning, very stunning. We are making our way towards the Monreale kind of plaza that it sits in, and there's the bell tower right there. And here we are, we walked around to the other side, and here's the plaza, kind of like a little square that it's on one side, and there's a fountain. This was our meeting point after we explored and we had some free time left over. I don't really know the story much about this, but it was beautiful in this Baroque style, which is basically a lot of mosaic. And it's gilded in a lot of gold leaf. Like there was gold leaf everywhere, even down below here in places where you could touch. And of course gold leaf is not that expensive in small amounts, but when you think about how much they put into this structure, it's amazing. It's truly gilded if you look closely. Everything was shining. And for being such an ancient structure, it really was still inspiring. I felt really silent and still in this place. I was amazed by it all. It just invokes a godliness in you, a place of worship. These are, I believe, the original doors, and I believe they have been repaired somewhat, but they were massive, massive. You do not enter through that side anymore, though, and I think it's only used for ceremonies. There's a coat of arms, and there's different things. There's, of course, the confession box, I believe. I'm not quite sure, actually. I do not read Latin, but that looks like that's the date something was put there. Whether it's a burial place or the place, the foundation of this place. That area in there, what you would call that, I don't know what you would call that, the cornice or the dome, Jesus there, it was really amazing to see up close. We couldn't get super close, as right there that was kind of in the way, the area where they do ceremonies, but it was so amazing to see this place. And it reminded me of a ship, like the underside of a ship, if you kind of look up, an ancient ship. It looked very surreal. It was definitely giving me Indiana Jones vibes for sure. We are walking back to our coach, and we are going to drive and then go to another church, which I do not remember the name. There's a quick look at a fish market, which there was many open markets in Palermo. No need for an actual grocery store. I think people just pick up fresh items on their way home from work or school or whatever. Here's one of the city gates, the original ones. It was pretty interesting to look at. You could see they added structures to the top a little bit later, but those are still also ancient. And I forgot what they are dedicated to, but they have different faces and emotions. And very imposing gate, to say the least. Here we are walking by the Palace of Palermo, which is now more of a place of government business, government work, but those were the gardens. Here's a beautiful view of just a very Mediterranean, European bustling city, a pedestrian section actually. Every turn was just another square, another avenue with people like Giuseppe Garibaldi. I think that's a very important person with the formation of Palermo, because I did hear his name and see his name in a few places around the city. There's an alleyway. We did see vehicles coming down those little streets. It was very movie-like. Here's the front entrance of the second church, and it was stunning inside as well, but it was not my favorite if I had to pick. It had a lot of damage, I believe, at one point, or the art, the frescoes, the art, the murals were destroyed at some point. There is some original, but a lot of the big works you see on the ceiling have been redone by a more modern artist, or an artist nowadays. That is not the Illuminati eye, that is the eye of God, she told us, our tour guide. It was beautiful in its own right. It was very, at first I thought, symmetrical, but when upon closer look, everything was so different. It was balanced out, but there was just stuff going on everywhere. You could sit in there and look at all the carvings, the mosaics, everything. It was cool, very cool. I recommend them. And I think that one was free to go into. There's some street arts, street mural. There's a market we went to a little bit later. We walked down and got some arancinis, which were very good, stuff with meat. And it's one of their local specialities. And then I also tried a local, basically like a cannoli, but it was not called that. Cannolo maybe? I'm gonna be quiet here because there was live music here. This was one of my favorite parts of my whole trip in the Mediterranean. Was this one square, and it's not really a square. It's an intersection, but it's mainly foot traffic. And each side is flanked by these towering buildings with sculptures and fountains. I forgot the name. 4 corners, 4 fountains. But this guy here, this group, they were just jamming away. It was amazing. I love that. It was awesome. Here's a very old fountain that was not running, but you can see some of the art around it, the sculptures. We weren't allowed to go up to it. It is fenced, walled off. As you can see, we magically teleported back to the ship, and we are looking out of our balcony. I saw these people rowing, which I found that very interesting, and my mind thinks I can do that, but I don't think I could do it for as long as they do. It's a very relaxing thing to do, though. And now we are going on the World Europa's dry slide. Yes, I am going. The weight limit is 400 pounds, so I am well within that. And we got to see the sun drop behind the mountains as we waited our turn. It is free to ride the slide, but look at that view of Palermo, Sicily. The Sicilian mountains in the background and the sun setting. It was a very beautiful day. So I am getting on Venom Drop, which is a dry slide, which means there is no water. I'm in a sack, and don't judge me. I will say the first 10 feet was scary, but after that it kind of got really slow, and I didn't even get all the way out, as you see. Neither did Brittany, but she enjoyed it as well. Here we are, even though we have a balcony. This is the very aft of ship on deck 8, the World Promenade. It was a very interesting view. It's like a portal between the towering rooms and the other decks above it, the opening here. And it was a very different vantage point to watch sail away from the complete aft of the ship. And there's the Palermo cruise terminal, which is not even finished being constructed, but it's pretty much 99% done. Here's a quick time lapse of us kind of turning around before we pull out. So first dinner in the buffet, actually. Quinoa salad, Greek, I don't remember what it was, pasta with olives. This is sweet potatoes and tofu, stewed cabbage, more veggies, cheese, chicken with a sweet chili sauce on top, and a glass of wine from the automated thing. You put your card under and it pours it. We are up here on the terrace level of El Pescaderia, is I believe the place, the fish, the seafood, and we're overlooking the World Promenade, and we are getting ready to see the light show of the palms, the palm light show at 8 p.m. here. It lasts for 5 minutes, and that's how we're going to close out the night, so stay tuned. So we are about 2 minutes out from the show, and it's starting to get really bright out here, as you can see. So this light show, in my opinion, it was neat to see, but it was a little underwhelming. I will say it was good music. I can't play it because of course it's copyrighted, but it was titanium like I mentioned in the title there. The lights were amazing, but I felt like they could have even put more along the balconies there horizontally. Maybe that would bother the people who were in there though. Maybe not, you know, I just think there could have been a little bit more, but it was neat and it was something free, so it's included. There's no extra charge, and we of course have this great spot to watch it, which I recommend, which is above La Pescaderia. There's a free terrace, which you don't really have to get anything there to eat to go up there. It's a real quiet spot, and it's a great people watching spot, and of course to watch stuff like this. And that's where we pretty much spent the evening after we sailed away. We did go up to the buffet, which is a quick hop in those elevators right there on either side. They go all the way right up to the buffet. But overall, this was a great day. I am feeling better, and I am sorry for not recording our travel day from London into Rome and then to Civitavecchia, into our hotel, and then the evening there, and then waking up, and then our walk, our very long walk, which do not walk to the port of Civitavecchia unless you have a backpack. That's great. Everything else, it's a lot of bumpy roads. It's not really pedestrian friendly. Sorry again, we were both kind of, you know, a little under the weather and the stress of losing the bag and then missing our train, but you know, it all worked out, and I do recommend going. Just make sure to try to not check a bag on Swiss Airways. Sorry. Good night. That was it. They played one song by Sia, which I could not include that. Actually, Titanium by David Guetta, with Sia doing the vocals. But it was synced with the lights, and it was great. And now it's time for some hot chips from the Pescaderia restaurant, the seafood restaurant. We got fish and chips.
Come on.
No, it's like giving me the weirdest.
Come across it.
Someone's telling me not to do it.
Really?
Let me start.
Oh my gosh.
That way my arms. Oh my gosh, what's something? Because it gets so clear, I can't. My brain. It is trippy. I don't like it. Someone's coming behind me.
Oh my gosh. You're so brave. I can't even go across the black part.
It's weird to see it. The
Yeah.
black part's metal.
I know, but even that messes me up. Because it's like walking a, you know?
It just looks like it's delaminating from the metal. Like, doesn't it look like when water gets underneath something?
Oh yeah.
Like pockets of air? Or like,
Oh, right here.
I'm like, why is this?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, we're good. Hello and welcome back to Kelman Explores. We are pulling into the nation of Malta here, to Valletta, Malta, which is the capital and the port. It was probably my favorite place in the Mediterranean that I've been to so far. So let's see what we end up doing. Thank you. What a beautiful way to get going. Crisp, cool air, Mediterranean sun, and pulling up to the nation of Malta on the MSC World Europa. on our very long balcony. It is 7:30 here and we are coming into port in Malta, and I'm filming because this is the emptiest I've seen this area of the cruise ship. I think everybody's upstairs eating breakfast, but it is nice and empty, and I am coming to get some supplies for our day in port. Coffee. Absolutely beautiful. It looks so ancient. Looks like some sort of fortification and they're trying to fix it or renovate or restore it. Wow.
Good morning everybody. My name is Daniela. I'll be your guide together with Raymond, our driver, and we're going to explore two sides of the island. We're going to venture first of all in Mdina, which is the old fortified city of the island, where we'll visit the cathedral dedicated to St. Paul, and then later we return back to Valletta, where we go and to see the co-cathedral. If any of you would like to stay later in the city, Valletta is literally on top of our heads. So if you look on the right hand side, there is an elevator. I will explain everything later, and the elevator brings you down to the harbor. So it's very, very easy if you would like to stay back in the city later on. But Malta, I like to give a small history info about the island. In Malta we have the oldest freestanding temples in the world. The oldest of them one is in Gozo, because the Maltese archipelago is formed of three main islands. Malta, the larger island, Gozo, which is slightly smaller, and in the middle there is also Camino. Only 2 people live on Camino.
We are on our way to Mdina, the old fortified city, and fun fact, this is the Gate of the Gods, season 1 of Game of Thrones. Filmed here, a lot of the exterior shots. That was me trying to reenact that scene. And here we are about to enter the Gate of the Gods. Oh yeah, I could see it kind of, definitely. The walls. Wonder how much money it takes to shut this down. Look at how beautiful that is. The gold color of it. Yeah.
It's like ice skating.
Look at this. Can I get a like from all the Game of Thrones fans out there? Come on, I know you like this. Well, here we are walking the ancient streets of Mdina, the small fortified ancient city on the island of Malta, the island nation of Malta. And like I said earlier, this is where a lot of the exterior shots and some of the scenes were filmed for season 1 of Game of Thrones. So this was like a double whammy for me, in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea on an ancient culture's island civilization, and I'm walking the streets of King's Landing. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, I recommend coming here and seeing like where it all kind of started the first season. We are on our way to the church, St. Paul's Cathedral, or the Mdina Cathedral. It's a Catholic cathedral dedicated to St. Paul the Apostle. And there is the exterior there. It is stunning, very stunning. Let's go in and take a look. So the cathedral was founded in the 12th century, and according to tradition, it stands on the site of where Roman governor Publius met St. Paul following his shipwreck on Malta. The original cathedral was severely damaged in 1693 from the Sicily earthquake, so it was dismantled and rebuilt in the Baroque style that you see right now. And it was the design of the Maltese architect Lorenzo Gaffa between 1696 and 1705. That's how long it took to build. The cathedral is regarded as Gaffa's masterpiece. And as you look around here, this right here was interesting because the significance of this painting, it has like an Easter egg. I'm zooming in on the harbor there underneath the scene above, and basically asking for God and Mary to protect the harbor. And he who controls and protects the harbor controls Malta and the Mediterranean. Coffee shop, restaurant in Mdina, Malta. Depending on the setting, I could definitely see Game of Thrones being here. If you look around. When in Malta, you act like a Maltesian. Some lemon. I just had some fresh squeezed orange juice, and I'm just enjoying the view here in Malta. Beautiful view. That is crazy huge. So this whole section that we're walking in Valletta is fairly new and was built to have a very massive and big open presence. That's the administration, like the government house, and it's real modern and it has interesting effects. And that right there is the remains of the ancient opera house. It is kind of being worked on, but it's still a place where there's shops, vendors, and open concerts. We are walking through the streets of Valletta, and here we are about to go to our next church. This is St. John's Co-Cathedral, and it is dedicated to John the Baptist. It was built between 1573 and 1578. It was officially consecrated on the 20th of February 1578 with a Mannerist style for the exterior and Baroque interior. It is made out of limestone and has works of a couple of well-known artists and artisans inside. I did love the interior of this church. I found it fascinating how the carvings and everything was gilded. There's so much gilding in the Mediterranean, and I like that. Like, why not put gold on everything? And each of the little chapels to the little nooks in the corners here were totally decorated differently and had, another place to worship or a different dedication. And since this was Catholic and older, all the crypts and stuff on the ground there are no women buried here, because of course back in the day they were not allowed to. We are slowly making our way to the Caravaggio kind of wing, where two of his famous works are there, and they're in great condition. They're from 1607 and 1608 respectively. They're very impressive, and we'll show you that in 1 second. But first, let's listen to some of the bells from inside as the bells were tolling outside in the tower. Well, that was impressive. Nothing like a good old bell toll. Here we are entering the Caravaggio wing. I hope I'm saying his name right. But he's a famous artist. And while he was in Malta, he painted two famous paintings in this room, amongst others. But the one in the foreground, the big ominous one, is the beheading of Saint John the Baptist. And he's also famous for, in this wing, a painting called Saint Jerome Writing, which I don't think I showed that, but it might pan around and we might see it. But just research them. They're real famous and priceless paintings. You've probably seen them in different art books or if you study art. But let's go back outside and take a look at the bell tower and the exterior, the back side, and let's talk to some of our favorite friends in Malta.
Oh my gosh, how do they know? Look!
Look, the little one.
Did they steal it from her? They did.
Piece of bread and one of their houses. I almost had a foot too.
Really? Oh yeah.
Or it's like...
Oh no, she's holding it up. Oh.
No, something's wrong with it. It looks swollen. See how she just bit it?
Yeah, she's limping.
What if they get stepped on?
Maybe. Hi. I like their little noises.
As you can see here, pardon the different style of video here. This was meant to be on TikTok, but I wanted to include this. Brittany, we stopped by and we bought this for €5, and I think we did lose it actually on the trip, but pretty cool way for people with long hair, men or women, to make a quick bun. And she liked it, and I thought it looked beautiful. And this guy, this group, this husband and wife team, they were selling these. Good quality stuff. We're here in Malta, and we just finished our tour. We are kind of hanging around where the ship is. The ship is like right behind us. Well, it's over this way, up over there, and there's an elevator that'll take you down there. So we broke away kind of towards the end of the tour during a point in the tour where you're allowed to, and that way we can do our self-guided kind of walk around, look for stuff. And it's a beautiful, very historic town. We went to Mdina, which is a small city in a different part of Malta. Right now we are in Valletta, which is another city. This is where you port, or the capital, actually, I guess. And Malta's a very small nation unto itself. And Mdina is where they filmed King's Landing in Game of Thrones for the first season of Game of Thrones. And it's very cool to walk through there, and we got a small bite and learn some of the actual history there, not the fantasy. But it's still neat to see someplace that I've seen on shows like that. And even this harbor, this port looks very much like it could have been used. What about you? What did you think about today?
No, it's pretty cool. So we learned that it is a very small island country that is considered like the gateway to Africa. So it's very sought after. You know, it's an area that a lot of countries have tried to conquer because of trying to get to Africa. It is very small, so there's like, I think she said 500,000 residents here on the island, so it is very small, but really rich in culture and really rich in history. There is so much around here. The other thing that we learned that I found really interesting, which made a lot of sense going back to the whole gate to Africa thing, is that this was the most bombed nation during World War II because people so this was really sought after. They wanted to have that bridge to connect the European countries to Africa for
it
trade
was a
and
British
all of that.
colony then too.
So yes,
British kind of took it over, and
Yeah,
everybody
Britain took
didn't
it
like
over.
the British in this area back then.
And if you look around certain parts of the city, you'll see the red telephone booths, like the London, the ones you see in London, and then also the post office boxes, the red ones. And she said that they leave them because they like to just, you know, remember that at one time this was a British colony. They have since, I don't know the appropriate term, but you know,
became an independent
separated.
nation,
Yeah.
I guess. Seceded.
Became its own sovereign nation.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. So there's so much here. The King's Landing thing was a surprise. We actually did not know that.
I didn't know that.
I want to research it a little bit more because she had mentioned that there was some kind of conflict between the country or the city that it was filmed in and the production company. So I'm interested to know what the tea
And
is
that's why
behind
they
that.
went to Croatia, I think, after the first season.
I don't know, it's really cool here. What's also really interesting about this is that not only do they speak English, it is their second language that's taught in school here, but she was mentioning that a lot of the like millennial generations and older speak a lot of Italian because all they could watch growing up was Italian television because they didn't have like Netflix or any other channels. But their language is
Maltese, which is a mix of Italian and Arabic.
So that was really interesting. And so yeah, there's definitely when we're looking through stuff, if you're reading it just in Milanese, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
I think you're saying it right.
That I can't understand it, but luckily everything is like also dubbed in English.
Very beautiful city, and we recommend it. Probably even to stay without a cruise.
Yeah.
Very Mediterranean feeling here. Like it's in the 60s now. It's a little chilly in the shade, but it's perfect weather.
It's so good. Yeah.
Sun is out. It's beautiful out here.
Really, really, really pretty. So yeah, definitely come if you have the opportunity. And the overlook into the city is so beautiful, and then of course being right here on the beaches, and it has kind of that like California feel to it.
Yeah,
too,
you're right.
There's certain like
climate.
cliffs and the climate, like there's so much. So.
There was kind of cliffy areas coming in. Well, anyway, that's our little message from Malta. Let's continue exploring. So we are walking around some more of the government buildings, and we made it on top of a park. It's kind of an arid park or a dry climate park, as you can see. But it is on top of the fortifications that look down to the harbor. And then on the other side, you can see our cruise ship, the MSC World Europa. It was very windy, so I turned down the volume, and I'm doing a voiceover because even our mics, when I wore them, it was very windy. But it made it beautiful. It was so comfortable and sunny. I really did enjoy Malta. We both did. And I totally want to go back. Look at our ship, the MSC World Europa, and right before that in the foreground is the other park on top of the fortifications here. We are actually really high up, and we are going to take the elevator down after we eat.
There's a ship. The World Europa. Can I hold it?
They have a much different look. Almost like a wildness to them. So, reviewing this footage, it is really windy and it does not sound good, so I am going to do a voiceover. Brittany is saying right now, this is Kinney. This is a local soda, kind of a bitter, semi-sweet, orange peel kind of tasting soda. And there is a meat pie there, and then she has a meat pot, like a empanada almost. And this is the Aperol Spritz. This is a popular drink in Europe, but also mainly in the Mediterranean. It's usually around €5, and it is alcoholic, and it has that same kind of bitter, semi-sweet, orange peel kind of taste. And I feel like it's almost probably made with the Kinney soda, but I don't think it is. She is going to try it for the first time. She's remarking, and I told her she probably won't like it, but then she's like, no, it's not bad. But then she's like, yeah, it does have a little bit of bitterness. Yeah, actually, I don't like it that much, but it's okay. It's a good thing to just sip on, and look at the view. It is stunning here. This is the elevator. You can take it up and down, and €1 gets you a round trip. They give you a ticket whichever way you get on, going up or down, and you keep that for your return ticket. It is only in cash. We did not see the tap and go working. They did have it, but it was not working. Luckily, we had a few euro coins, and as you can see, it is quite a high distance, and it saves you about a 20 to 25 minute walk to the ship's location. And now it's time for an ancient street walk break with Kelman. €2. And I'm gonna get this one.
Yeah, the overhead's low because they've got bus.
Okay.
So this is 350.
Just got some souvenirs out of here. It's a little mobile souvenir bus, and I guess he travels to all these places: Italy, Malta, England, Germany, France. Reasonably priced too. I got 3 magnets for €4. Getting back on board, but look at the Easter egg. Let's see here. Look at that silhouette there in the globe. At first I thought it was peeling, but it's a silhouette of the world Europa. We are back on board the MSC World Europa, and we are looking down at the port in Malta, in Valletta, Malta, from our stateroom balcony, and we are looking for pier runners. We did see some. Those of you who don't know, a pier runner is somebody who is running to the ship as it leaves or it's about to leave because they lollygag. We had an all back on board time at 4:30 p.m. We were sailing at 5 p.m. and right now it is about 4:25 p.m. And this lady here, I will stop talking soon, but she fell right off that curb and was quickly helped up, and she made it on in one piece. But I'm gonna be quiet so we can listen to our past selves worry and also get angry at people we don't know for taking this pretty not serious.
Okay, are these the two we saw? No.
No, they're coming around. See them there?
Oh yeah.
Those ladies there, they're like, nah.
Y'all better hurry up. They are cash about
A lot
it.
of these people, it's their first. That they're folding up now. That was a yacht club, but they were using that for both people.
Oh, were they? Look, they're closing up. Those people still aren't running. Y'all, come on now. There you go. There you go. There you go.
So that lady must have just walked right off of that ledge.
Yeah, she wasn't paying attention. Where?
Oh, no, look at him.
That guy?
Yeah, he looked right here and he's like, what the? Look.
Oh no, bro. Go. Yeah. There you go. You got this. Just read. You don't even have to read. There's big pictures.
No, right there. Go down.
Yeah, keep going. He's got it. He figured it out. There you go. No, he's got it. He's got it right there. There you go. Good job, bud. Proud of you.
Hopefully he keeps.
Look at all of those people.
I think they're also
Just so casual about it. With a kid, I'd be freaking out.
they're also looking around. Just
Come on, bruh.
ain't cruising with them.
Hey. Oh, there's people running over there too. Run.
Oh, that's the guy. He made it pretty quick.
Good job, bud.
Like, I'm sorry. It just got away from me. They got one ran over.
Oh, we got one kind of runner. Good job, bud. I didn't even see him.
Thank you, Dr. Dad. Yes, we're in Malta, in the capital city of Palermo.
Speed.
Okay, the car. How do you get through security like that?
Oh, is it the Autobahn? What's going on?
It's like the handrail. Thank you, Dr. Dad. Yes, we're in Malta, the capital city of Valletta. The Mediterranean, the center
belly button.
Belly button of the world is what it's called in ancient times. As we were leaving, actually, we are leaving right now, some sort of delegation or armored cars passed by. Maybe it was the president of Malta. Who knows? But there we are pushing away from the port in Valletta. And it was a beautiful sail out. Perfect weather. The sun was setting. And you could see the ancient, the new, the remodeling boats. People were waving and yelling at us, saying goodbye, come back. It was very beautiful. And I think one of my favorite sailaways of all time on a cruise ship. Look at that right there. I just can't. It doesn't do it justice. The camera or any filtering or any kind of whatever photoshopping. There I am. But look at that. It's just I've never seen anything like this in person, and it just blew my mind. The Mediterranean is truly beautiful. And I can't wait to go back. But let's enjoy this sail away. Goodbye, everybody. They're waving at us. That is where we ate before we went down the elevator. That is the park up there. It's a beautiful spot. Really beautiful.
Good?
Yeah, it's really good.
So we're here at Masters of the Seas. This is one of the bar slash like specialty restaurants on board. They have a pretty limited kind of English pub menu, but it has a few of the American staples. So for example, I got the Philly cheesesteak, which looks pretty good, and then you got like a barbecue sandwich, right?
Pretty much pulled brisket.
And then mistakenly, we didn't read the menu. We also ordered fries, but both of our meals came with fries, so that's okay.
A lot of fries.
Really good. A lot of fries, but the prices weren't that bad. The fries were about $5. The sandwich was about $9 or $11, somewhere in there. Yeah. So really, really not bad. A really large amount of food. So that was pretty good. I mean, is it a Philly cheesesteak from Philly? No, but it's still really good food. MSC embraces the ducks. This is sweet. So the gentleman at customer service that was helping us the other day, we had told him about our room being an ADA room, an accessibility room. Anyways, he sent us these, which, yum, Kelman will eat those. And then he also sent us some, looks like, oh, Prosecco. Very nice. So we shall be enjoying that this evening.
Well, the reason why he sent us this is because after we told him we had an ADA room, we also stated that we didn't need it. But he said that was very generous of us to be willing to vacate this room for somebody in need because of mainly the level terrain it gives you. There's no bumps into the shower or anything, as well as there's a ramp on the balcony. And he said that's very nice, and I will send you up a gift, basically. So that was that's a big gift. So thank you. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, MSC.
Thank you.
Malik in
Good
particular.
morning. This is our one and only sea day here on board the MSC World Europa. I went and had a light breakfast. I need to not eat as much today. I feel really bloated from yesterday in Malta with all the street food, and then when we came back on the ship, we are going to trivia and then to welcome back drinks with the captain. I don't know what that is, but we got an invite. But look at this sea day. It is crazy windy out here right now, but it's beautiful. So come along with us for this sea day and let's see what we do. I'm probably gonna rest, and I do need to edit, but we're gonna see what else we can get ourselves into today. Stay tuned.
That's good.
So I recorded, this was about 20-25 minutes, maybe even 30, but I shaved it down quite a lot so you didn't have to watch the whole thing. But pretty much the few clips you're going to see, the cruise director comes out and he says everything in like 6 languages, which is amazing. And then they kind of give out an award. Actually, I'm sorry, they bring up all the officers, then the captain. They say thank you, give us a few stats of the ship. They do give out 3 ship models that are signed by the captain to random people. You put your invitation in a drawing and they pull it out. 3 people won. We did not win, as usual. And then they kind of give you a sample of the talent on board. So your entertainers, your singers, your dancers, and your Broadway type actors, singers, dancers. So just sit back and watch this kind of sample. It was pretty good. I'm glad we got an invite. And I believe this came because I became gold. So gold is equivalent to platinum on Carnival. Those of you who are more familiar with Carnival, because I have very little status with Royal Caribbean. So gold on MSC is equivalent to like the 3rd tier or the tier before the last couple of tiers. But yeah, this is also a video they make you watch about MSC's history and their goals and their dominance in the cruise industry and shipping industry. But yeah, just stay tuned and watch this kind of sample.
The MSC World Europa, Sebastiano Crisa.
I will say this is the youngest captain I have ever seen on a cruise ship myself, and I'm not sure how I felt about that, actually. You kind of think you want experience, but then also it was a welcome to see that somebody achieved so much I'm pretty sure he's younger than me, I'm not sure exactly, but I would assume in his mid to late 30s, maybe early 40s. But very engaging captain, and we saw him in a few places even when we were disembarking and embarking the ship in the security area, also kind of checking on things, making sure things were actually like flowing. He was a lot more prevalent around the ship, not just where a captain would normally be. Very interesting.
Once again, the officer here on board of MSC World Europa. Bene. Quindi come promesso,
Wow.
ladies and gentlemen, now we have a lucky draw. And to chance to win the ship model, not this ship, the ship model, but signed with our captain. Mesdames et messieurs, maintenant nous avons le tirage ensemble. Vous avez la possibilité de gagner de notre petit bateau autografé et signé de notre commandant. Ahora tenemos el sorteo donde se puede ganar el pequeño barco autografado da nuestro capitán. Quindi siamo pronti, we are ready, prego, comandante, maestro, rullo del tamburino. Partiamo dall'Italia, from Italy. Il numero di cabina è 1919, quindi 523 19523. Ecco la signora, prego.
That was close to our number.
Prego signora. Ecco qua. Grazie. La signora da dove arriva? Da Torino! Grazie! Prego signora! Ma è importante sapere che avremo altre due. Fate qualcuno! Fate un video alla signora! Qualcuno! Fategli un video! Per favore! Video! La signora ha fatto il video! Prego! Angela! Ma sicuro che arriva dalla Russia? Da dove arriva signora? Ucraina? Ah, da Napoli. Napoli. Da Napoli! Angela da Napoli!
He asked her where she lived, and she said she's from Ukraine, but she basically lives in Napoli. So maybe she's from both, but I'm sure she lives in Napoli, which should be in Italy if I'm not mistaken.
Attenzione!
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and go ahead and like this video. It's about time you like it if you've made it this far.
So we just watched the welcome back kind of presentation with one free drink, and they gave away 3 ship models with the captain's signature, which was cool. We didn't win, but it was cool to see that they did that. Other cruise brands, they didn't really do that, kind of. They didn't really give any statistics like other brands do, though, about like how many gold members, how many, you know, different nationalities. I like to hear those kind of facts too. Other than that, it wasn't too bad.
Well, we decided to explore the ship on this sea day. This was after Malta and on our way to Barcelona. Here I am on deck 8 at the very aft the ship at the end of the World Promenade. Very beautiful aft of a ship. I will say that MSC World Europa has a very good, I would call it almost like an oculus. When you stand all the way near the entrance to the World Promenade and look back, it looks just like a portal to another world. This is Sweet Temptations on deck 8, and this is the frozen yogurt area, and look at that promotion, buy one get one free, or an unlimited frozen yogurt package for 50 euros per week. The yogurt was good, and that's a pretty good deal. It was about 4 euros or 3.50, I believe.
And we got 2 different cups, which is great. And that's a always on promotion. Hopefully it's still there if you get to go soon. They have a build your own popsicle and different other sweet treats in there, as well as crepes. Here I am looking down at deck 8 from the top there by deck 18. And this is Hola Tacos on interior of deck 7, I want to say. Hola Tacos is unique as they have a little pickup window where you can get like fast tacos and things. It still takes like 5 or 10 minutes, but you don't have to actually sit down or have a reservation. Here's a look at sushi, Kaito sushi. We will be coming back here later tonight to eat. We continued to explore the ship and we ran into the gym, and this is usually about as much as we do in the gym. I just like to see them. One day I think I will actually go to the gym and do some exercise. It's just hard to bring yourself to do it, at least for me. But it's a pretty well equipped gym. It does not face the ocean, it faces midship. Here is the Raj Polo Tea House, and we got tea. I got an alcoholic tea, of course, an iced tea, but they have tea time towers, and let me tell you, is this an amazing thing? Just take a look. There's Brittany pouring one of her teas. Look at this tower.
Sandwiches, eggs, beef, cucumber, and chicken burger. And we got some scones, plain and raisin, which you can eat with chocolate cream and jam. On top, we have 5 different cakes, macarons, we have mini tart.
That was worth the money. I believe it was like 15 euros and totally worth it. I'm back here at the stateroom and I am going to relax and take a nap before we go out to dinner. Beautiful spot to relax. I loved our cabin on the World Europa. Time for sushi. Someone had trouble saying Kaito sushi. Let's listen.
As long as we have dinner at Kaito Sushi on deck 7 of the MSC World. Kaito.
What did you say?
Kaito? I don't know. Come along as we have sushi at Kaito. What? Come along as we have sushi at Kaito Sushi on board the MSC World Europa on deck 7. Kaito, yeah.
This way, sir.
Okay,
Thank you. Kaito?
Kaito.
Okay. Tonight we're having dinner at Kaito Sushi on board the MSC World Europa. Tonight we opted to go a la carte instead of getting the dining package because we wanted to be able to experience anything that we wanted on the menu without limitations. We're not exactly sure what's going on, but there is some kind of party happening over here in the promenade. So we're gonna go check it out because it is loud and it looks fun. So we want to see what's up. Oh, never mind, we missed it.
We didn't really know what was going on and we did miss it. We should have checked the fun times or whatever. To close out the night, we walked and looked at the Panorama Lounge for the first time, which it's similar to the Meraviglia class. You can only enter through the casino, but it is massive. It is much huger, if that's a word. It is way bigger. And it's a little more interactive. There's a screen that shoots down on the floor. They do have shows and performances in here, but they do fill up quick, so you need to make reservations. They are all free at this point, which is nice, the shows. But as you can see, the seating is vast, but it is kind of not also at the same time. Plenty of seats, but they fill up fast. They do have a bar, a dedicated bar, and they have an option to eat in here as well. There is outside seating on either side, but it was pretty cold, so not a lot of people were sitting out there. But yeah, this is a beautiful spot to look at the ship, and it is on deck 7, all the way in the aft. So right beneath the World Promenade. And there's some of the bar staff waving at us, and we have to exit through the casino. You know what? This is pretty much all we did. I did rest quite a lot in the day and I edited a video, but you did not see that. So thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. We are here in Barcelona, Spain. About to disembark for an excursion today. We are going to drive around and look at some of the wonderful architecture and history here in Barcelona. So come along and enjoy Barcelona with us. Let's go.
Hey guys, so we are in Barcelona, Spain today, and we are going on a sightseeing tour excursion with MSC. So come along as we tour Barcelona and all of the gorgeous and beautiful sights.
Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. That's massive. Hola, buenos días en Barcelona. Yo paso por este café para un trago bueno, un monster y un smoothie de fresa. Y espérate por 2 empanadas, one con carne y otro con jamón y queso. Y pasa por los autobús en la otra área de la City of Barcelona.
No habla español. All right, so we're at the end of our tour. It was probably not the best one we've ever done.
It was a little boring, I hate to say that.
Yeah, it's a little boring and a little uninformative. I don't know, it felt weird, but anyways.
Go in anything.
Yeah, so, but that's okay because they've dropped us off and our ticket is good for a shuttle back up until 5 p.m. So it is currently 12:30, so we're gonna go try to find some things to do around Barcelona. The first thing that we're gonna do, I think, is we're gonna go to a mall.
Check out a modern mall, and then the opposite side of the mall is La Rambla, which is like an older kind of street promenade, like with shops and restaurants and old Barcelona. The Gothic style buildings, so I'm excited about that too.
So let's go.
There is the Christopher Columbus Monument here in Barcelona, not too popular in some places of the world at the moment. It is a beautiful monument here right in the middle of a huge roundabout. We just made our way onto Rambla Street. I can't say it. Which it's one of the busiest foot traffic streets here, with shopping, stores, restaurants, markets, and it's just close to the ocean. But behind us, they're doing a lot of construction. But that is where the Christopher Columbus monument is, as well as the port behind us. I love it. A little deeper into La Rambla Street. La Rambla. Ugh, can't say it. You can see the kind of promenade. I can imagine this looking beautiful in the spring or summer when the trees are green. Here's a Theater Principal. Caricature. Oh, it's in disrepair though. There's another Amazon locker. Here is a lovely square just off of La Rambla Street, which is there. And as you can see, it is quite open and lovely. There's people here feeding the birds, enjoying the different restaurants and shops. And there's La Rambla Street there. Cool place. And that was on my face a lot closer than I intended it to be. But that is pretty cool still, nonetheless. Really cool spot here. It reminds me of Venice somewhat.
Why are you?
So we made it to one of the markets here on the side of La Rambla Street. St. Joseph La Boqueria, the mouth, I believe. And there's gonna be a lot of food in here, it looks like. There's stained glass. Look at the meats here. Look at the meats on the right. A lot of cured meats, Italian ham. We're gonna explore here, see what we can find.
It'd be funny if they were from Florida.
I mean, maybe. They're really salty compared to, I think because they're so full of water.
All of this food looks incredible. Like, everything is so fresh. There are things that are still moving, which is crazy. And now I've lost Kelman. I don't know where he went. Oh, he's getting something. Can I see? What kind of meat?
Beef.
Oh, it's beef? Nice. I'll try one little. Do we know what part of the cow?
I'm sure it's like a tender cut. Just got out of the erotic museum, but here is a beautiful, what I can only think of is a church. I might see if we could just walk in. So it is a beautiful church, and because it's not free, it is quiet. Brittany stayed outside, but I'm gonna whisper so I don't offend anybody. But it is beautiful. They've got these little like nativity kind of scenes, which are cool because they go back. That is beautiful back there. So beautiful. That's cool. They must take these down in the street, and that's where they walk. The little mask opening. So they must walk them up and down the street. That's cool.
You are? You got suckered into it? That's insane.
But you will be happy. So nice. But I bought her a lot of things last time. I bought everybody lent chocolate last.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Are you buying me a chicken dinner? Okay. You scratched the 8 ball, so if it weren't for that, I definitely would have lost.
Marseille, France. That is it through the fog and the mist and the rain in the Mediterranean. It is a little chilly. We are ported here. We can't really see the city, but I see a lot of island formations and factory looking things out there. The seagulls are alive. Let's go to Marseille, France today, guys. MSC World Europa. We are currently in Marseille, France. Very beautiful place. We were about to get off, but I just happened to notice this big barge kind of ship. It is a natural gas, liquid natural gas fueling ship or transport ship. And they just hooked up next to us here in port, and we were about to get refueled. I thought that was pretty interesting. The things you learn. Well, let's go to France. Fill us up. All right, see y'all later. Bye. This is a good example of the excursion exiting process. It gets a little cramped. And they make you take a few flights of stairs as well as some hallways. And people will be cutting in front of you because they're in some sort of rush to get off the ship.
It's a wonderful city with a beautiful sky, the sun, the high temperature, as you can see. Now, normally we're supposed to have sun, but today, no. Sorry for you. It's not a good day. Normally it's 300 days of sunshine per year. But
Just got off the coach here in Marseille. As you can see, it is a wet one. But we have our big umbrella. Byzantine mosaics. A lot of different history has been covered. This is the baptismal fountain. Le font baptisme. is the crypts. Oh yeah. I don't know, it might be.
I think it is.
Ego some panes vinte. So it has been a really wet day here in Aix-en-Provence, and I'm in the street, so I'm going to move. It's an electric vehicle that transports you from one end to the other of this kind of boulevard. But we are ending our tour soon. It looks like it did stop raining a little bit. But what a cool place. We are close to Marseille, France, but it's Aix-en-Provence. That's, I believe, how you say it. One of the older cities here in the south of France, in the Mediterranean. But let's continue our tour. This is future Kelman joining you from St. Lucia, the only nation named after a woman, found by French sailors that were shipwrecked on December 13th, the feast of St. Lucy, and therefore named the island in her honor. I am joining you right now in the Caribbean on Celebrity Beyond to tell you I do not have a lot of footage here in Marseille. Yes, I learned how to say the name correctly, and I apologize. But anyway, I hope you enjoy what I do have, and thank you to the French people. Back to me in the past.
Thanks to it, we have a lot of other things from the government. Thanks to Marseille also, because thanks to that, we have a lot of
This is King Renati. Here's a Rolex store in Aix-en-Provence. They sell Cartier. We might stop in there for a little bit, see what we can get.
You've been gone.
Public WCs or water closets, aka bathrooms, restrooms. This is an automatic one that costs 50 cents euro, and you would place it. It's ready to go, so you want to go in. I'm going to put this. There you go. Now you have 20 minutes to do your business.
20 minutes?
Hurry up, though. I gotta go.
Oh.
Have fun.
Wish me luck. What do I do?
Bye.
How do I close it? So this is the toilet bathroom area, which is crazy. It is extremely clean, and the concept behind this is that it actually self-cleans. You can see that the walls are all wet, the floor is wet, but it's not like a gross sweat, you know? So I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I am gonna not take you along for that. I think you guys know how to go to the bathroom. I don't know, it like didn't flush. Is it supposed to flush?
No, I'll do all that later.
Bye! We made it back to the bus. It is gorgeous out. It's cold, but it's gorgeous. My trusty assistant has to hand me the battery pack. Honestly, just so I have a better handle. So I don't drop you. Check this view out. Unreal.
About to get off here in Genoa, Italy on our last port day.
So kind of sad.
Kind of sad. And we get off tomorrow in Civitavecchia, Rome. Let's go explore Genoa. Just made it on the historic line bus, so we're gonna go take that tour and then probably get off. But this is the city of Genoa. There's a glimpse of our cruise ship in the back there. The World Europa, MSC World Europa. And this city is getting busy right now. We were on the city sightseeing tour bus. It was 23 euros for all day hop on, hop off. You can get a 2-day pass as well if you're going to spend some time here. It's a good way to get around the city and to learn some history, as it is a English channel option here if you'd like. This is the historic city line, and we're going into the old town. There's 2 different routes with this company, and they each take about an hour to go through if you don't hop on or hop off. That's a good view. They have a lot of these painted blocks, which is interesting to give it that illusion of block. There's a little guy. That's Ferrari Square, the heart of the city.
Signore e signori, fermato a Piazza dei Ferrari, del Ferrari Square Stop.
Look at these buildings here. What is this place? That's a cool little trick. You take the elevator in the tunnel. They got their own steps. That's cool for the people who live down here. They have a little way to get into their building. There is our cruise ship there. I see it now. Great views of the city. Oh, here's the other elevators. Oh, we get to see a resident going down their little shortcut. Stunning views of Genoa. There's another terrace garden. I believe that is close to where Columbus was born. Gosh. It's like a mini pizza. Taking a ride in a funicular. Oh yeah, we're gonna pass our prison. After a little bit of walking, we found the birth home of Christopher Columbus. It's one of the few buildings intact from that era, they said too. Forgot why. That's cool.
It wasn't the birthplace, he just lived here.
Oh, he lived here. Not his birthplace, but his house. It's $3 to enter. You want to go inside? Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Two persone,
Two.
Due persone, ma.
Ah, thank you.
Prego.
No, per 13 giorni, non è cosa, 13 giorni.
Imagine we're now seeing the ticket office, a large counter looking outside. While on the back, we have the storage. In the corner, dusting a small store food court. Let's move on now. To the left, you will find the big rainwater recovery tank. This water gathering method was quite common at the time. Just beside it, a small hatch was used for wastewater disposal. Now please, by the way, above us, at the first floor,
I think that's it.
most of our visitors are surprised with such a small house. But you have to keep in mind, we're an humble family, even though quite hardworking. While you go upstairs, pay attention to the steps.
Hello?
Here in
Oh,
Genoa,
there's steps here, baby.
most of the houses have quite steep and narrow stairs. Hold on to the entryway.
A lo mejor por eso está quebrado derecho.
Casa di Colombo. It is a reconstruction, or they took it apart, and then they put it back.
Chiostro.
This is like a recreation of what was here. They recreated what was here, I believe, a lot smaller. I think it took up this whole. Right next to Christopher Columbus's house.
Big tiny home.
Big tiny home. It's just an entryway now. You're right, probably was. Alright, so let's do a room tour of our room here on deck 9 on MSC World Europa. We are right in this corner ADA balcony in Bella class, so the lowest class. This is the length of our room, but let me show you. 9167. It's nice being on the corner, but I will say you hear a lot of kids running certain hours of the day down the hallway to get to the elevator. But you open it up, it's a pretty wide room because it is ADA accessible. We have it quite cluttered. This is our last day too. Oh my gosh. You've got 3 hooks here, they are lower down. Now we did book the guaranteed room rate, so they picked the room and it ended up being this one. And it's really nice because the balcony, I'll show you last, is really long. Let's start here. The restroom. We just came back from our last port day here in Genoa, Italy. Genoa, Italy. And it is ADA, as you can see. You can just walk right in or wheel in however you need to without any steps or anything. Got a very nice bench there if you need that. It comes with shampoo and body wash. All that other stuff is ours. Adjustable height. Your little drying rack is lower down here should you need it. It goes diagonal to there. Commode, ample storage here. We have it all full. A little mirror here, a little stool also should you need. But yeah, that's pretty much it in here. You got your curtain, which you do need to use this to help mitigate the shower spray. But it does have a large drain. 2 more hooks here. Full length mirror there. Pretty good size wardrobe with shelving units. The safe is lower down in this one. Soft close. And over here is the cluttered hanging section. Actually, it's not that cluttered. We're kind of starting to pack. This is all my stuff up here. It's a little messy. But yeah, that's pretty much all you need. King size bed. You've got the charger on each side here with the light. And a fun tip I learned, when you want to make these bright, you turn them on. The next time you press and hold to your desired brightness. There you go. Then you've got these kind of articulating, they can go around and then up and down. Reading lights. Same thing on this side here. Let's lighten this up. Oh, this side. Give us a little bit more brightness. Master controls for all the lighting except for the vanity lighting. That has to be turned off there. Pretty good sized TV. This is all cluttered up, but as you can see, you've got 2 US outlets, 2 USB, and then if you have adapters, which we do, but we don't really need them right now, right there, 2 European plugs. Phone, shelving, which we have everything cluttered up. Thermostat is real simple to use. Up, down, cold, hot. On off. Here's the bathroom light. It is on the outside as per usual. You do get a full mini bar, at least in the European MSC. That's our juice there. We need to remember to take that. Here's a drawer here with the hairdryer. You do get this stool as well as this table here, which doubles as like a stool. No back though. There's the waste can segregated into plastic, paper, and food. So that's it. That is pretty much it. As you can see, it's like, it does the job. It's the Bella class, which is the lowest class of stateroom. You have the Fantastica. Let me open up these blinds. And let's turn around here. Somebody was hiding behind the curtains. It startled me a little bit. Got him.
Got him.
But this is it. Look at this balcony. It does come with a ramp because it's an ADA room. So that falls down as you open it. You get 2 loungers, 2 chairs, and a little table. And this balcony is longer than the stateroom itself. And here we are in the port of Genoa, Italy. Beautiful Mediterranean. And we are right here. This will give you a good example of a standard balcony width. If you look here from here to there, I don't want to peek around. So their room extends from here to the beginning of our room, and then it's hallway. So they actually have the better scenario because their wall here is just our balcony, and we're not real loud. Whereas our wall here is the hallway where the kids run every once in a while. But the balcony makes up for it, and I'm bringing some water into the room. But yeah, this has been a nice balcony to see the Mediterranean in, and we highly recommend it. This is a Bella class stateroom, veranda balcony stateroom, and it's the guaranteed one. But if you want to select it yourself, it is cabin 9167 on the MSC World Europa. Thank you for watching, and that's Horrible Lighting. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned to see which cabins we tour next. Bye from the Mediterranean. Bye. Oh wow, oh yeah, MSC. Goodbye, Genoa.
I wonder if this is like their main.
It might be. This is our last night on the MSC World Europa. We are decided to come to the dining room for the first time in our dining room, Les Dunes, which has a nice view of the Royal Promenade here on deck 8. It's a pretty small dining room, but it's anytime. We got our breadsticks. And actually, bread and bread, these are really good breadsticks.
Are they?
It's better than celebrity. Ceviche and tomato this. And we both got the pork steak, chimichurri sauce with potatoes and veggies with a gravy underneath.
Alright, so we are on our very last night on board the World Europa. And I figured we'd do a little bit of a recap if you're down for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No choice. We're sitting in the ice cream / crepe / waffles for our BOGO yogurt. It's only $4 and you get 2 yogurts. And these are big, pretty big yogurts. I mean, it's really good yogurt. But anyways, how did you like your cruise?
It seemed like we just got on yesterday, so it's hard to...
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the ports. Very unique. We've never been to places like that. And besides the weather being a little cloudy and rainy a few days, it's been perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has been the charcuterie board of Europe. At least this part of the Mediterranean. And then also I'd say on, Euribia too. So we will have been gone from home for 24 days by the time we get back to the United States. It wouldn't shame.
It doesn't seem like it.
I know. Overall, the ship is really pretty. It's definitely hard to do it all with the amount of ports there are.
Yeah.
You need more sea days to enjoy the ship, but then you also want to have a lot of port days because you want to enjoy Europe. So I think it's probably been the most challenging, and just trying to fit it all in and not be exhausted.
There was 5 ports on this sailing. And like back to back.
Yeah. No, I think it's been a really good cruise. And I'm also not embarrassed to say I'm kind of ready to go home too. It's like I'm torn. I could keep going, or I could go see my dog.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird to have to go back to regular life though.
That's gonna feel weird. My mom was talking about that to me on FaceTime today. She was like, man, are you gonna be okay going back to work? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, no, probably not. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna miss this part of the world for sure.
It's so beautiful here.
It really is. Thank you for bringing me, for planning it, organizing it.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Forcing me to get on an airplane.
That was the easiest part.
Not only did I fly, but I flew 3 different airplanes so far for this trip. So anyways, just kind of want to do a really quick recap and just say thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you, and encourage you to just keep traveling. And if you haven't been to Europe, come on over. It's a good time. Very beautiful. A lot of history.
Beautiful.
So, all right.
Bye guys.